What is up, obscure mic people? It's me, it's your boy, it's Bark. Today, I want to take a look at the Maono XU01. And the reason I want to do so is because this is an XLR to USB cord that provides phantom power with no batteries, no nothing, using it's basically an interface and a cord built into one. So the USB port is providing the power to the converter that takes it and makes it 48, takes it and makes it. I'm using the Tascam TM180 as the baseline test for this because the gain range on it is 30 dB. So as you can imagine, not the greatest for dynamic mics, but we'll still throw it on some dynamics. And we'll talk about what happens when you put a inline preamp on this thing as well. But let's take a look at it. It is 24-bit, 192 kilohertz sampling rate, which is awesome out of this cable. This cable, if it works well, beats out some cheap interfaces like the Behringer UM2. Yeah, you don't have direct monitoring or monitoring at all for that matter. But there are ways. The iRig Recorder app, it has monitoring. A little echoey, just like any other, non-latency free workaround monitoring, but it does work. So let's take a look at this cable and just see what we've got here. As you can see, we've got the XLR part, and the cable's pretty long, 10 feet to be exact. You've got this little module here right before the USB cable. Not much to it, just a little switch, 48 volts, phantom power on or off. And that's really all you need, and a USB-A at the end, which you can adapt to a USB-C and use with a phone, which is what we're going to do here in just a moment. So let's get this wired up, see what the difference is. This currently, the Tascam TM180 is running into the Scarlett Vocaster 1, Focusrite Vocaster 1, whatever you want to call it. It's Focusrite Vocaster 1. And this is what the microphone sounds like. We're going to plug everything into the same recording source, video and audio, and see what we've got here. Does it sound as good? I'm not going to be able to tell. Like, I've used this and I'm impressed with this, but it's going to be on you to decide whether this sounds the best or this sounds just as good, I guess. Let me know in the comments down below, but let me show you the power of the Maono XU01 XLR cable to USB, mostly for condenser mics. Just going to throw that out there. All right, so now we've got the Tascam TM180 plugged into the Maono XLR to USB cord, and this is what it sounds like. This is the sound you're going to get from this, powering a condenser microphone with just a little module built into the USB cable, which I think is really cool. Really, really cool. Let's keep doing some tests though. Let's not stop at this microphone. Let's try a few more. Okay, now we've got my large diaphragm Fox Novo build. This doesn't take a whole lot of gain to power, so I'm hoping with phantom power now turned off that this cable can make this microphone sound at least listenable. Let's see if we can hear any like preamp hiss, because we're going to assume that little box at the end of the cord is kind of like your preamp. Maybe. Let's be quiet for a moment. Okay, now we're going to switch over. Now I've got the Electro Voice PL10 that Joe from Red Cabin Acoustics sent over. This is what that sounds like directly cord to video, and hopefully we get some proper sound levels out of this. I'll be quiet, see if we hear any noise. Okay, now let's switch again. Now we've got the Sterling P30, which is a phantom power activated dynamic microphone. I'm going to assume this is clippy and unusable because in my tests with the SM7B, which does have quite a bit of hiss when you try to use it, but it does work and it does get listenable levels. I'll drop a clip here in a minute from what I recorded. It'll just be a blank screen clip. But this microphone has that active preamp in there, and what I have discovered that this cord does bad is you really can't take advantage of an inline preamp. It's over boosted. I imagine that could have something to do with the fact that most inline preamps are 20 to 30 dB of clean gain. I'm wondering if the SE-TNT, which you can toggle from 15 dB boost to 30 dB boost, wondering if that 15 dB boost would be where it's at to use this with an inline phantom-powered preamp. Maybe we'll find out eventually. I don't know. Depends on how this cord tests out. But let's switch again and get off this mic because I imagine it sounds clippy. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I imagine it does. All right, so this is the Avalex AVS-77. Literally just running a cord. The Maono, whatever you want to call it, phantom power cord. Like it's got phantom power, little interface built in, something like that. Seems quiet with the condenser. Seems to give it what it needs. So I think it works out pretty well. Straight to the phone. It's almost like turning any mic into a USB mic, which is very convenient. You just don't quite have the monitoring, but that's okay. All right, so this is the SM7B, and it's plugged directly into this cord. I don't even seem to need a cloud lifter or anything like that, which is absolutely shocking. And we'll end it back on the Tascam TM80. Let me know what you think of this cable. It's a $30 cable. It provides phantom power. In my experience, especially with a computer, it's hard to control the gain in a phone unless you're using a video audio recording app like the iRig recorder app, which does have a video, and you've got a video recorder and it's got a slider where you can adjust the gain. It's really convenient. Also has processing if you pay for it, which is pretty cheap. Really great app. But yeah, Tascam TM80, Maono cable. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I think it's a really solid option. If you want to have an on-the-go cable for $30 and your primary use is condensers, Dynamics, again, it'll work. It works fairly well. There's some hiss. There's some preamp style noise for Dynamics, which is one of the problems with these XLR to USB cables. You get that with Dynamics, but maybe we can find that preamp solution because it would totally be worth owning the SE-TNT on that 15 dB boost mode. If that turns this cable into a quiet travel component for condensers and Dynamics, it would be really hard to recommend a whole lot else if you could walk around with a cable and a small preamp in your pocket to record. I'm all about travel. I'm all about carrying light. We're going to find a way to perfect this cable to see if it can just be that on-the-go setup that makes it to where you don't need anything else. Something fell off my table. Obscure mics. See you guys next time. Let me know what you thought of this cable. Link to purchase this cable down below. Peace out.